Good afternoon with some news coming in from Bengaluru. Prime Minister Modi flies the Tejas fighter in Bengaluru. In fact, he is reviewing the manufacturing facility, including the facility for the Tejas jets. The visit has come at a crucial time as the Indian Air Force recently issued a tender to HAL for the purchase of 12 advanced Su-30 MKI fighter jets. He is the first Prime Minister to fly a sortie in an indigenous fighter. It's a strong message by the Prime Minister towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. In April, President Murmu flew a sortie in a Sukhoi 30 MKL. Let me just go across to my colleague Payal, even as those pictures of the Prime Minister comes in from Bengaluru. Payal, yes, it's a huge message as far as Atmanirbhar or self-reliance Bharat is concerned.
Well, of course, the fact that you're talking about India's defense preparedness, you're talking about indigenous preparation, all of this included in the Tejas aircraft, the message coming in loud and clear, because it's none other than the Prime Minister who's actually flying that particular aircraft today. The first version of the aircraft was first inducted into the Indian Air Force in 2016. And in fact, to promote indigenization and including of the aircraft engine, the transfer of technology for manufacturing of the GE engine in India has been negotiated with GE during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit, earlier this year in the US. It tells you the kind of importance that is being given, to defense infrastructure. That is something which has been a huge focus as far as the Narendra Modi government is concerned.
Okay, I'm going to try and reconnect with Payal. We seem to have lost her voice, but basically this is an important development which is coming in. The Prime Minister is on a day's trip to Bengaluru, and the first pictures which are coming out, which you can see right up on your screens, sends out a huge message about self-reliance. Remember, in every sector, especially on a defense sector, the Prime Minister and the government have been insisting on a government which is defense ready, one, and second, we are self-reliant, so that we stop our imports which have been heavy and a part of a huge defense budget. Okay, Payal is back with us. Yes, Payal, go on.
Over the years, we've seen that, defense budget has been always a question that has been asked of all political parties who have been in government as well. But the kind of effort that the Narendra Modi government has really made, the Prime Minister himself sending a message today by, going and flying this particular aircraft that you're speaking about, the visuals are there for everybody to see. It actually tells you the kind of importance that is being given to India's defense preparedness. The transfer of technology with the GE, which was inked when the Prime Minister went to the US in June this year, Pallavi, tells you the efforts that the Modi government is making in terms of India's preparedness, because India is coming up, in the Make in India project. The indigenization of Indian aircraft is something which obviously the whole world is speaking about, and India is leading from the front.
Okay, and Harish is also with us now. Harish, just to take the point which Payal was making, that, apart from the big messaging, what does it also add on to our defense infrastructure and a defense setup?
Well, two aspects here. One, what it does to PSUs like HAL. Remember, HAL already has multiple MOUs signed for maintenance and repair of aircraft. At the same time, even in this year's Aero India and the previous editions, we've seen aggressive push by HAL to offer its products or its fighter aircraft and also its choppers to various other countries, several of them currently under consideration. And during such a time when you have the Prime Minister of the country himself doing the sortie in Tejas aircraft, it sends a very strong message to the HAL workforce that the Prime Minister and the government is currently with them strongly, and also to other nations who are considering whether it's choppers or other products of HAL for acquisition. Remember, this is coming at a time when there are orders of around 83 Tejas aircraft currently with HAL. Perhaps in the coming few weeks, the DAC is also likely to consider other orders that could be placed for a purchase from HAL. So it's a significant messaging, both domestically and internationally, by the Prime Minister.
Okay. We also have Akash, who covers the Defence Ministry for us. Akash, I see the points that you're putting out. You're talking about the fact, you're giving us details on the aircraft in which the Prime Minister flew, but more than that, details on that, plus how does it going to make us even more defence self-reliant and make us stronger as far as the defence sector goes?
Right. So you see, Pallavi, Tejas is a single engine aircraft as of now, but there are plans that when we will have a Tejas Mark II, so it will be a twin engine and a twin seater aircraft. And we know that how we have a negotiation in the deal going on where we are going to purchase engine for Tejas Mark II. This particular movement. In fact, the occasion is very important because you see, Tejas is our indigenous fighter plane. And as far as Indian Air Force is concerned, Indian Air Force, is focusing on Atmanirbharta. In fact, the whole Ministry of Defense, including all the forces, are focusing on Atmanirbharta. And this is one great example of Atmanirbharta in the country. And also, when it is about the occasion, so we have been told that Prime Minister took this sortie. In fact, one wing commander level officer was there who was accompanying, in fact, the Prime Minister in the particular aircraft. They went till Mysore Express. This is what officers are telling. And also, they are saying that this was the very first time. In fact, we know this for a fact that this was the very first time when Prime Minister took a sortie in this particular aircraft. Tejas Mark 1 is what we are using currently in the Indian Air Force. 40 units we have. And in the future, we are, planning to procure more units of Tejas Mark 1 Alpha and Tejas Mark 2 as well. So this was an important occasion, important day. In fact, our colleagues are reporting that how, they saw Prime Minister. In fact, Defense Minister was very much there. And, they took sortie in this indigenous platform.
Okay. And Harish, I remember HAL has been mired in a bit of a controversy. I remember it was a year or two back when Rahul Gandhi had also gone there. He talked about the plight of the officers there, the people who are there working from there. You think the Prime Minister taking this sortie, the Prime Minister going there, is sending out also a message that they are very much uppermost, or rather a priority for the government?
Absolutely. As you rightly mentioned, the Congress was trying to portray a picture where it said that HAL was being relegated to the back burner, and in fact, purchases from abroad, from other countries were being prioritized. But if you look at the kind of orders that have already come in for HAL, whether it's for 89 Tejas jets itself, and also the kind of orders that the Acquisition Council will also look at in the coming few weeks, the government making a significant statement that it is with HAL. HAL is priority under the Atmanirbharta campaign. You are seeing several defense PSUs being given importance, and HAL is the flag bearer of it. And the fact that HAL stocks have been soaring over the last few months indicates that perhaps even people on the stock market understand that under this government, there is a significant push for indigenous weapons and choppers and aircraft, and HAL is at the forefront of it.
Okay. And Akash, I'm just going to come back to you on this. In fact, what you also put out is that the first version of the aircraft was first inducted into the Indian Air Force way back in 2016. There are now 2 squadrons of the Indian Air Force, 45 Squadron and 18, and they're all fully operational with the LCA Tejas. What more can we add on to this? What does this particular sortie, what is it that the plans which is there from the government?
Right. So you see, Pallavi, whenever we talk about Tejas Mark 1, so there are a number of people who say that you cannot deploy Tejas in forward areas because you have more superior aircraft. For example, we have Su-30 MKI, and we generally consider Su-30 MKI as our frontline aircraft. And this is the reason why they compare Su-30 with Tejas. And there is no comparison because whenever we talk about functionality and all other things, so there are a number of factors. But given the fact that, people say that you cannot compare and you cannot deploy aircraft like Tejas in forward areas, there are plans that very soon we'll be having, one squadron of Tejas based in Gujarat. Gujarat is an important place where we have, borders with Pakistan. And also there are plans. In fact, I remember how in the last few months we have seen that, several Tejas aircraft went in Jammu and Kashmir to a forward base, and, they were deployed to that forward base. In fact, clarification came out. In fact, sources within the Air Force were saying that this is not a permanent deployment, and this is generally happens as a part of their training. But as far as this particular aircraft is concerned, so Air Force is somewhere relying on this particular platform, and this is also a reason why after 83 units now, Air Force has in fact proposed additional 97 units of Tejas Mark 1. In fact, everyone is looking forward to Tejas Mark 2 because in that particular aircraft, we are going to have more superior, sensors, radars, and also the functionality, Pallavi.
Okay, so do hold on, Akash and Harish. I'm just going to come back to you.